Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome back to Familia Pablanu. I am the one and only Anu.
Yo soy Pablo, solamente Pablo. And in this segment, we're going to be sharing a lot of family drama, a lot of stuff that was going on with us at the time, leading up to and including the wedding.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that happened. There's a lot of things. It's going to be very, very difficult to talk about.
Yeah, you'll need that popcorn, definitely for sure.
It'll be a bit raw.
As well as some tissues. But without further ado, let's begin.
Mama Africa, your children are home.
So I just wanted to start out by saying that if you've noticed, Anu and I, we record separately. And this is for several reasons. One is so that we can speak freely, so that, we're not influenced by someone else there or someone else jumping in and making a comment or something that gets us off track. So we're trying to keep our minds on task. And also, Anu's not anywhere around. Just like when she records, I'm not anywhere around. So that way it's very, I guess we can be very, very truthful and not unduly influenced by the other. And it also, if you've probably noticed, it also makes for a pretty good experience, kind of juxtaposing both of our perspectives like that. So before I begin, I want to kind of explain a bit to help people understand kind of where we're coming from. So when people have a supreme leader, whether religious, political, familial, and they're following that leader, they can commit horrendous acts, absolutely terrible things in their life, while feeling like they are being the very best human being they can be, the most moral person around, They can commit these acts while always feeling like something's wrong, something's off. Maybe this isn't quite right in the back of their head, in the back of their mind, or in their gut, however you want to say it. But if they receive continual encouragement and continual affirmation from their supreme leader, that can kind of be pushed back, and they can keep going thinking that they're being the best and doing the best thing, right? That they are serving their God as the best as possible, that they are doing all of this, out of love, for others, that they're doing it out of this tremendous duty, to their family, to their cause, to their culture, to their religion, to their nation, whatever. However, when their leader is shown to be a fake, or when their leader is shown to be someone with mental issues, or their leader dies, or whatever, their leader's taken out of it, right? Or they come out of it, right? Whatever they're in. The walls that were built to keep, or the blinds that were put in place, I guess you could say, start to fall down, including all of their life, right? All of their morality, all of their values, everything that they thought was intrinsic and core to who they are, all of that starts falling piece by piece apart. And with that, the blinds, the walls that were built start to break down. Walls between you or between that person and other humans, especially other groups of humans. When that happens, that person's finally able to see what they've done, see the humanity in others first off, understand others better, and in turn, understand what they've done to others, understand the real gravity of what they did. And I'm one of those. And so the hardest thing for me coming out of a cult and learning what I did, the hardest thing for me is seeing what I did with clear, open eyes. And that's been the hardest thing on me. How it affected Anu, how it affected even my children, but in particular how it affected Anu and her family, and others, friends, colleagues, others that I, sort of preached to or whatever, the damage that I caused to people, girls that I dated, things like that. Just seeing everything is terrifying. And when it comes to what I'm going to talk about today, it's extremely, extremely painful because I can see the damage that I caused through my actions. I can see clearly what the motivations were in other people, and they were not what I had been taught. They were not what I had been indoctrinated to believe. And seeing it with clear eyes, I can only apologize. I can't fix the past, but I can apologize for what I did, and be so thankful for the forgiveness that was shown to me by my in-laws in particular. So I was indoctrinated from a young age, as I already mentioned, about what marriage is and what all that entails. Since I was about 14, 15, even younger. In fact, even 9 years old, I was indoctrinated. I was taught, sat down by my father to explain how to keep your in-laws at bay, and that's a necessity, especially your father-in-law. The way it was explained was that, and he put a lot of fear in us, that if we allow even the tiniest bit of an in-law, especially father-in-law, coming into our family, our territory as men, which is our marriage, our family, that's considered our territory. And we have to protect the boundaries of that. That's our male responsibility as men of God, etc. So that was inculcated in me from a young age. And this fear that, because there was also this idea of demons and things connected to it. And so it's this idea that if we allow that in, right, or if they come in at their own accord, come in meaning like give their opinion, for God forbid, they give their opinion about something, or show some anger or anything like that, that would be bringing in demons. And how it works, and this is following certain biblical points, is that it is called rebellion. So it's going against an authority that's already established, the authority of you and your boundary as this man, and that's coming against God's authority, because all authority comes from God, right, according to Romans. And rebellion is as witchcraft, which I can't remember which verse that is, but it's in the New Testament. So the idea is, if a father-in-law, for example, is giving his opinion about something or trying to influence something in your marriage or in your life or anyone, right, that is rebellion and therefore witchcraft. So therefore there's lots of demons and stuff associated with that. Evil spirits, right? Demons, evil spirits, whatever you want to call it. Demons of rebellion, witchcraft, etc. So there was a lot of fear that I had that was kind of put in me. But again, as I mentioned before, I wanted to do things differently because I saw how that affected my brothers and their marriages, my father and his marriage, obviously, and how they just basically had to cut off or hold at arm's length their in-laws. And I was like, I don't want that. And especially meeting Anu and seeing how important her family was to her, I was like, this is beautiful, because I didn't really grow up with that, So I was like, this is beautiful. And so I wanted, her to be able to see her family. I wanted to have that connection with her family already, even before we ever became a thing or had a relationship. And I wanted it to be different, right, leading up to this. But unfortunately, right after we got engaged, suddenly with this looming prospect of marriage, all of this indoctrination that I had about marriage suddenly kind of clicked in place. And not just that, but my supreme leader, that is my religious leader, my father, pastor, also kind of pushed that home that very Christmas when we were visiting them. And basically reiterated all these verses, reiterated all these things about, and brought in this fear about, oh, it seems like your father-in-law is not too happy about you all getting married and whatnot. Oh, remember, you gotta be the man. You gotta be strong. You gotta protect. You gotta, whatever. And he would reiterate that throughout. And if I had any difficulty, since then, I would go and talk to him and say, hey, yeah, this is what we're doing. This is what's going on. And he would ask me, what's the update? So I would share those things, and of course he would give his guidance, which was reiterating a lot of these verses, reiterating a lot of this guidance, right? And a lot of this fear about, hey, careful if you let anything in. I mean, we had 17 years of demonic activity because of, letting my father-in-law choose the location of our wedding or whatever. Anyways, it's a lot of nonsense now that I see it, but back then it was really serious, because again, I'd been indoctrinated since I was 8 years old or younger, even, about this. So anyways, so that being said, when things started breaking down with communication, and I said, whoa, maybe don't be so upset at your, talking to Anu, like, don't be so upset if you're, sorry, I won't go into too much detail about it. See the previous part that we already did, talking about the slow breakdown of communication. So this segment is discussing the actual full breakdown in connection, communication, whatever you want to call it, with my in-laws, that is Anu's family.
So thank you so much for watching. And there's more to that story. Yeah, everything leading up to the wedding. So for the next episode, make sure you have your popcorn as well as tissue. And while you're at it, grab a friend so you can watch it together. Thank you for being part of our therapy. This is what healing looks like for us.
It's something that we know will help people in the future, to be able to look out for, be careful, and hopefully learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And learn from, what can happen to someone, when they fall into a cult.
Right.
And also how to love people like that, and how to be there for them.
Yeah. Well, until next time, we'll catch you in the next episode. Ta-da, Bo.
Ciao.
Adios. Bye.